Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Oh man, the fallout continues to be juicy. I mean, you know things are bad when the infighting and the chaos and fragmenting of the party, that's of course the Democrat Party, continues even 2 months after the election. The Democrat Party today is more divided than ever, and at this point, it's gotten so bad that they're basically at each other's necks. You know, back in the day, these leftist networks, all they did was attack Donald Trump 24/7, right? That's all you ever saw. Well, nowadays, it's certainly a whole lot different because we've got leftist media now producing content, attacking their own, and the TYT seemingly got their new target, and that's Rachel Maddow. I mean, just think about that. TYT, the progressive network, going after queen mainstream progressive Rachel Maddow. The times have changed. Leftist infighting's at an all-time high. They're essentially eating each other alive. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here as the TYT turns on Rachel Maddow. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Okay, so take a look at this TYT segment that's currently bouncing all over the internet.
Yeah. And so I think the backup plan is fight harder. Yeah. The backup plan is make sure you win the Senate. The backup plan is people should volunteer earlier and do more and give more money and do all of those things.
That was MSNBC host Rachel Maddow back in June of 2024. And keep that in mind when you consider that Semaphore spoke to key media figures across digital, print, and legacy media, Republicans and Democrats, to discuss the things that they got wrong in 2024. And judging by that video you just watched, Rachel Maddow did get some things wrong. The question is, did she learn a damn thing about it? Well, rather than citing her real mistakes and terrible predictions, she actually ended up blaming her audience. So here's her statement to Semaphore. She said, "I thought people would be more unnerved by JD Vance, less the cat lady thing and more the Americans are going to have to get over the dictator phobia, Mencius Moldbug thing." She is right that people didn't buy into the fear mongering about JD Vance as much as she hoped for, but to kind of pivot to what she believes her audience got wrong or the Democratic voters got wrong, or voters in general got wrong, instead of taking ownership of the things she got wrong, is kind of amazing. Look, I'm always amazed at the, I guess, allergic reaction to any self-reflection at all. It's okay to admit that you got things wrong. It's actually admirable when people admit, especially people in media who are supposed to be, sharing accurate information. It's okay to say, look, I got that wrong. In fact, we're going to give you examples of people who actually did take ownership, and I give them a lot of credit for that. It builds credibility when you're willing to admit when you've gotten something wrong. And by the way, remember, this is what she said when Joe Biden ultimately ended up dropping out of the presidential race.
There is no single thing that he has done in that entire career that is a greater or more consequential act of service and sacrifice to this country.
Girl, the American public were getting boring every night with your MSNBC show. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Go outside and talk to real people. She is so out of touch with ordinary people. It is amazing.
It's obvious what's going on here. You know, we've got some people on the left who have deluded themselves somehow over the last decade, maybe 2 decades, that they've been on the right side. And it's obvious that they're slowly coming to a realization that they're basically trapped in an asylum with crazy people. Anna Kasparian's reacting to Rachel Maddow and her extremely toxic, totally delusional reaction to the 2024 election. And of course, her deep-seated hypocrisy and political bias. And I think she's stunned and she's finally realizing the kind of company that she's been keeping. I mean, let's just delve into that Rachel Maddow take. Instead of accepting what actually happened in the election, she's basically insinuating that voters are too stupid to see the world her way, that JD Vance is some kind of budding dictator or creep. I mean, what a completely insane thing to say. It's not entirely surprising for someone like me, who's obviously known who Rachel Maddow is for a very long time now. We know that her entire shtick has always been about spinning wild conspiracy theories and trying to pass them off as hard-hitting journalism. Ooh, somebody give her a Pulitzer Prize. She's got the Donald Trump pee-pee tapes in Russia. You know, we've known it, but I guess now other people are realizing it, people who have deluded themselves into thinking that the left today is similar to the left of yesterday. But it's just not the case. It's not the same party. The party has been so utterly corrupted. And people like Anna Kasparian are now waking up and realizing that. Because some people at the TYT, I mean, they're part of an independent media organization, and some of them, happen to be a little bit honest, and they're not willing to lie. They jumped off the bandwagon a while ago of pretending as if Joe Biden is A-OK. They may have political leftist leanings, but they still want to tell the truth and win properly, the right way, because that's actually how you win. You win with the facts, making good arguments. And so they're trying to pivot after the election, realize what went wrong, and figure out how to recollect and reform. But I think they're now slowly realizing that that may not be possible when the power structure is all centered essentially around these elitist sociopaths who are working on behalf of big money and corporate interest. I think they're realizing that a lot of people on their side are just not honest. No, they're just big money, big government shills. Oh, well, Joe Biden's fine. Joe Biden's more than fine. Joe Biden's the definition of fit. Listen, fat, it's time for a push-up contest.
Yeah, you do, but look, Fat, look, here's the deal.
Then when it's clearly evident that Joe Biden's brain is falling apart, undeniably so on the debate stage, well, all of a sudden, no, Joe Biden's got to go and it's the right decision. Oh, how heroic it is. And then when you replace Joe Biden with arguably the biggest turd in politics, well, what do you get? You get frickin' turd sandwich. That's what you get. And that's what the Democrats got, and those are the results that they got. The biggest L in modern political history. And then after delivering that L, because trust me, Rachel Maddow played a big role in delivering that L. You might even argue, I mean, she was the pinnacle, the tip of the spear. I mean, her show built all these ridiculous narratives that vilified Donald Trump and launched the lawfare campaign against him. Well, now as it all comes to a crashing end, what does she do? Blames everybody else. Oh, it wasn't me. Oh, it wasn't even Joe Biden. Oh, it wasn't Kamala Harris. Oh, it was none of it. It wasn't the lawfare campaign. It wasn't the Russia. More than circumstantial evidence nonsense that literally happened on my show.
But there is more than circumstantial evidence now, but nonetheless, real evidence is coming forward that just can't be ignored, aiming to help Donald Trump in the election. That has now been borne out by ample evidence.
I think you see the most palpable evidence of a collusion in terms of violating the Logan Act.
No, it's just that people weren't dumb enough to fall for the narrative that I tried setting forward that J.D. Vance was a weird creep. Yeah, this guy.
Hey guys, J.D. Vance here, playing a little buck hunter before a rally in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, also known as the closest Tim Walz has ever gotten to real combat. Have fun out there.
And that seems like a crazy thing to say, and don't say that. Don't say that. I said it. But yeah. But don't say that anymore.
I'm gonna steal that line. That's after the election, though, man.
No.
We gotta win first.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, that guy's a certified creep, and apparently you're a bad person or stupid if you don't see it that way, and that's why the Democrats lost. That is the most out of touch, most insane, out of this world, pompous, delusional response I think that I've heard or that we've seen in the 2024 election. And I think this right here is what's causing the rift within the Democrat Party. You know, obviously as the demographics are, and as we're moving here into the future with the new generation, the Democrat Party is running with more of a progressive angle. That seems to be where it's going with the next generation of these Democrats. And well, now it seems like we've got a significant rift within the progressive world now, don't we? I honestly don't know if it's sustainable. Mixing corporate Democrat with out-of-your-mind socialism, normal run-of-the-mill left-wing people with literal terrorist sympathizers and extremists, it just frankly seems like a pressure cooker that's just left there heating indefinitely. You know, eventually the pressure might reach a critical point. There's just so much deception, so much dishonesty, corruption, and political radicalism happening on that side. You know, how does that lead to anything good? That's at least where my thought process is. And that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and, subscribe if you want to. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.